Hey, I'm Vego and this is Psychedelic Actualization. On this channel we talk about topics like self-realization, self-actualization and working with psychedelics in a responsible and mature manner to live the most authentic and fulfilling life possible. If you're interested in any of these topics, subscribe to the channel. In this video I want to talk about 10 insights I got from my first 10-day Vipassana retreat experience. If you're curious about the video about the retreat experience in and of itself and my perspective on that and what I liked and didn't like, you can watch this video right here where I talked about my retreat experience. In this video I want to share 10 insights I got and I experienced during this retreat that were quite interesting just to contemplate and also now reflect upon afterwards. What's so beautiful about the retreats, it's gaining insights by direct experience, because we can hear about insights, we can get glimpses and insights on different levels when we look to teachers and we hear talks and try to understand the teaching themselves. We can get a little insight, but that is a different kind of insight, as if we're doing a practice like in a retreat setting. And we're doing that for a long time, 11 hours a day for 10 days straight. That's 100 hours of practice in 10 days. That's where experiential insights arise through living life, through doing the practices. And that's beautiful. What is an insight? Insight, pertaining mental vision or discernment. It is the sudden act of grasping the inner nature or truth of a situation. It is a deep understanding of a person or a thing. And these are my 10 insights that I experienced. Number 1, the first noble truth. Suffering exists. Life is suffering, as taught by the Buddha. The Four Noble Truths is kind of the basic structure of his teaching, and that is the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering, the Eightfold Path. I'm not at the second one yet. I got stuck on the first one, but really experiencing this and realizing this nature of suffering, this selfishness, my mind and the habit patterns of my mind of clinging and aversion, and how that leads to suffering, and how just this existence itself, this being itself, this being self is so much filled with so much suffering, with so much chaos and misery, and to just feel into that and just deepen my understanding of that first noble truth was really beautiful insight. Second insight is kind of moving to the cause of the suffering, is pain is inevitable. As we move through life, we are gonna have pleasurable experiences and we're gonna have painful experiences. And in my retreat, I was sitting in pain for the first 7 days, in severe pain, body pain. And pain is inevitable in many experiences of life. We try to avoid the pain, which is my third insight. I feel aversion towards the pain. I did not want to be in the pain. But that leads to a certain sense of suffering. That leads to the perception of self-created suffering, because I am resisting the pain, which is an inevitable part of life. And then that was the third insight. It's like, I do not like the pain. I was like, I can sit in silence and in meditation for 10 days, no problem. And then sitting in pain, I'm like, oh, no. I don't like it. I can sit for 10 days, but I cannot sit in pain for 10 days. I don't like it. And to realize that and gain an insight into that and understand that there is a deep resistance, which is also, I guess, biological survival mechanisms of nature, right? To feel resistance towards this intense pain. But if it's in a non-life-threatening situation, then it's really self-created suffering that arises out of this aversion to pain. Which brings me to the fourth insight is I desire or cling to blissful, ecstatic, loving, awakening experiences. Because I know through my psychedelic journeys how beautiful they can be. And getting these glimpses, there developed a certain sense of craving towards this mystical experience, towards especially a blissful mystical experience where tears out of joy and love are just flowing down, and it's just like this full body orgasm of pure bliss and ecstasy. And I feel a desire towards that, which is also causing suffering, which is also causing an attachment to blissful experiences. And just to raise my awareness of that tendency, that attachment to bliss and that aversion to pain was just really valuable to see now. And the way I plan to integrate it is to practice more appreciation of the ordinary, appreciation of the way things are. And we're going to come to that in a bit, because the way Goenka and the Vipassana retreat taught it was with the word equanimity. You meet the craving and you meet the aversion with equanimity, and that's how you kind of transcend the both, and you work through them, and you purify your mind. But yeah, very, very crucial and very important insight. And that is the integration, is to really get these insights and then take them and implement them in your daily life as well. And one way I found I am doing it is through coaching. So I am getting coached and I'm getting a lot of value out of this, and I got trained to be a professional coach. So if you're interested in integrating psychedelic experiences or retreat experiences or kind of these spiritual highs and lows, then shoot me a message or book a free one-on-one call with me, and we can see if coaching might be something you are interested in as well. So that brings me to my next insight, number 5. My mind is crazy. Madness. Pure madness. It is not controlled at all. It is not disciplined. It is not sharp enough. Good to know. Good to get a glimpse out of this, because sometimes I think, or I deceive myself into the notion that I am smart, I am focused, I am controlling my mind and aware and able to concentrate it. But no. In the retreat setting, a lot of wild things were coming up. But it was also fun to be with. It was madness, and it was sometimes very crazy and wild. But also the way I talk to myself, my self-talk is very funny and very lighthearted at times, which is also good to reflect upon. If I was sitting in severe pain and then one voice was saying, it's like, I don't like the pain, and then the other voice was saying, it's like, come on, like, shut up. It's God, or kind of perceiving the chattering, yup voice that is just complaining all the time as funny. So I am really, I'm having a fun mind, I guess, and a fun way to be in my mind and be with myself. Great insight. Sometimes I'm even rude and I'm very judgmental at times. I really want to stop that. I did shoot a video about that, about like this subtle judgment that is an automatic mechanism of my mind, of things or people or behaviors. Very rude sometimes as well. I really raised my awareness on that and really want to stop that. But also, the tendency of the mind as well, the tendency to jump to conclusions, to judge something very quickly was also interesting. So as I said in my retreat video, I didn't resonate with the technique, and then my mind was coming in and it's like, okay, I decided I didn't resonate with the technique, so let's stop, let's do something else. Now, let's rather do the Anapana, let's rather do the do nothing meditation, as we're here. But then I had to catch myself and that thought and that tendency of my mind to jump to conclusions and then act on those conclusions and say, no, I'm here to, what the fuck am I here for? I'm here to practice the Vipassana technique and to put away all other things and to follow the instructions correctly and diligently, right? That's what I came here for. Let's not deceive ourselves into thinking we're smart or better or know more than we actually do. And our mind is very tricky at times. It's a very tricky mechanism. And this self-deception is going on all the time. It's a very interesting and complicated topic of how we have this self-bias, double standards, and then we project outwards instead of looking inside and seeing how we are deceiving ourselves all the time. Sometimes I was saying to myself in the retreat, oh, clever, tricky mind. Clever, tricky mind. Like how good you are at deceiving yourself. And now back to the practice. Great. Next insight, number 6. Presence is purification. Purification is a very interesting one. Next insight is pain is presence. So, is pain purification? What is purification? Is a very interesting topic as well. A very present topic for me at the moment. The process of purification, especially also in psychedelic experiences and now in meditation as well. It comes up, the process of purifying myself. To tap deeper into selflessness and presence by being fully here now, by being fully present. There is the space for stuff to come up that has been suppressed. By being fully here, by being fully present, the body or the emotions can react and stuff can come up to the surface, which is kind of a purging. Seeing meditation also as a purge of crazy monkey mind and thoughts that come up that get purged. Everything is a purge. Also being in presence and being in meditation. That was a really interesting one. And the pain is presence was because I was sitting in so much pain. I was just like, I cannot be anywhere else but here right now with the pain. So pain is presence. Which is a wonderful thing, right? Because presence is purification. But also, I guess it's not just like this one-sided, we gotta experience pain to be purified. No, there's a lot more to purification. And also, I guess pleasure can be purification in a sense as well. It's how we meet the pain and how we meet the pleasure. With this sense of equanimity, right? Or not without clinging, not without aversion, that we purify it. We just watch it. We remain aware and remain as the observer. So that's a funny one as well. Insight number 7. At the beginning of the retreat, when I was driving there, I was asking, like, what are you seeking? What are you seeking? And then someone asked me back, what am I seeking? What are you seeking? And I was thinking about it and I'm like, I seek the end of seeking. I am seeking the end of seeking. And at day 8, I was getting the insight into this intention to enjoy the process of seeking the end of seeking. Is to find it. That means basically the basic insight of enjoying the journey. It is really not about the destination. It is not about the end goal. And I was more and more concentrating and focusing on this end goal of, I want to be liberated. I want enlightenment. I want this. I want to get better at meditation. I want to practice more. But I want to find the right technique as well. I've been looking into so much stuff from Zazen to chanting, Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh mantras, to breath awareness, to Tibetan Buddhism, to whatever else is out there. So many techniques, so many perspectives. And I want to find the the one that resonates most with me, the one I want to go in depth with, but I haven't found it, and now I haven't found it with the Vipassana as well. And the insight was to enjoy this process of seeking, is to enjoy the journey, that's the whole goal. Why not just enjoy the journey? And I get this insight over and over and over and over again, and I forget it. I forget it over and over and over again. So again, a good reminder to enjoy the process of seeking the end of seeking. Wonderful, wonderful insight. That is kind of one of the core insights I got out of this Vipassana retreat. Insight number 9 has to do with the word equanimity. I didn't even really know what equanimity is. Also, if you look it up in your own language or in different languages, it's almost always like a weird, very unknown, unusual word that's not commonly used in common language. And what is equanimity, right? Is a really interesting question. And then also practicing this equanimity in the Vipassana retreat, at a certain point, I didn't feel, or I found a better word for myself, which might mean the same kind of meaning. Someone was also telling me, doesn't equanimity just mean to not give a fuck? To just have this like whatever approach? And I was thinking that for me, a better word might be appreciation. Not in the sense of I appreciate this, but I don't appreciate this. But appreciation in an ultimate sense of I appreciate all the sensations. I appreciate everything of reality. I appreciate everything that is arising. Instead of I remain equanimous towards everything that is arising, I appreciate it. It's kind of the same thing, but appreciation has a warmer feeling to it. I can remain equanimous with the pain, but I can also appreciate the pain. Maybe it's a little bit more of a difficult practice, but the end goal, I would say appreciation goes over equanimity. And Goenka taught in the retreat that equanimity is the only yardstick on the measure of awakening and enlightenment. It's only your ability to remain equanimous towards what is arising. But I would say appreciation is way above that. For myself, it feels more resonant to appreciate and take that as the measure of success of your spiritual development. To see how much can you appreciate reality? Because that's what it's all about. We're here. We're alive. This is it. And we can remain equanimous with what is arising, but why not appreciate it? Why not appreciate all of reality, the whole of it? Wow, it feels so much better. So that was a great little insight. And the last insight is, which also circles back to my insight of I don't like the Vipassana retreat. Like I don't like the Vipassana technique as taught by Goenka. So that inspired the process of what is meditation then? What is meditation? What is it not? And that's a good question. You can watch my live mushroom trip video that I did directly after my Vipassana retreat. You can watch it right here. And around the half or towards the end of the video, I contemplated this question of what is meditation, and there are some interesting insights, and I might do another video in the future on this topic of what is meditation, because it's a very serious issue. It's a very serious issue to ask yourself, what is meditation? Don't just take on techniques or practices from other traditions, because there are so many. There are infinite amounts of techniques or traditions. But what is the point of meditation? What are you trying to achieve with it? Well-being? To earn more money? Are you trying to get to enlightenment or liberation? Are you trying to be happy? Are you trying to be peaceful? Or does meditation not have a reason at all? Is it an end in and of itself, whole within itself? Is it even a doing? Can you practice meditation? What is it? What is it? What is meditation? Or is meditation a happening? Is it something that blossoms if you create the right atmosphere? Can you meditate just sitting down doing a practice, or can you meditate being in life? How can you meditate being in life? That's all questions to contemplate. And I guess the true meditation starts with you inquiring for yourself into the question of what is meditation and what is it not. What is meditation? Not how do I practice meditation, but because the how implies a method. But what is it? Start there. Start with developing an understanding for yourself on what meditation is. And the Vipassana retreat with this rigorous structured technique that is going to be practiced in this correct way, and it's hard work and effort, that, which I didn't like, that inspired me to inquire for myself now afterwards. What is meditation? Great insight. Great, invaluable insights. So these are my 10 insights from my Vipassana retreat experience. If you enjoyed it, let me know what your insights were if you did a retreat. I would love to know your top 3 or top 5 insights and follow along on this journey. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all and see you in the next one.